When I first got into high performance cars and exotic cars, which was only a little bit more than a year ago, I was drawn towards the brand Porsche. Out of all the brands that I could have really chose and liked and was quote unquote favorite, I decided to choose Porsche. And one of the major reasons I decided to choose this brand was actually because of the dealership experience I've got from the dealerships I visited all over Southern California. Porsche San Diego was the first Porsche dealership I actually went to down in Miramar, and I actually went quite often. The first time I went, I don't remember that clearly, but I was just amazed by just the architecture and the layout of how Porsche actually decided to design their dealership and the congruency throughout all the dealerships they have at the moment. So after months and months of going to Porsche San Diego weekly, I got the news that Hohen Motor Groups up in Carlsbad were building a new dealership for their Porsche brand. Naturally, I was very ecstatic. I couldn't wait. And once that dealership opened, I remember Tristan and I actually went like a couple days after they actually officially opened, and just the experience that I got from going to that dealership just blew my experience of Porsche San Diego. I don't want to put Porsche San Diego down because they also have very great people and great cars and a very nice dealership, but Porsche Carlsbad, Hohen Motor Group's experience that I got firsthand, the first time I went, was just unimaginable, and I'll explain why. So the first day we went, which was only a couple of days after, stepped inside the showroom, and there was this PTS GT2 RS Cobalt Blue. One of the nicest GT2 RS specs I've ever seen, and I was looking around it. Tristan also was with me, and we were looking around the car, just memorized about the color and the spec and just how beautiful the car was. So while we were just like stunned about this new GT2 RS color that we've never seen before, a man walks up and then asks how we're doing, and then like how we like the cars, and then we were talking about it, and then he actually told us that he was the general manager and he was the one that spec'd out the car. And then after that, both of us were just like completely like shocked about like, why is this? We were talking to the general manager on our first day we came in. This never happened in any other Porsche dealership I've ever went to, and I've been to quite a few. The general manager walks up to us and asks how we're doing, and then actually starts a conversation with us. Like, this never happens. From that moment, I knew this was the place. This was a place that I could go every single week and I would not get tired of, and I was happy to go every weekend or just even multiple times a week, which I actually think I did a couple of times, to know the people and know the place and the building. And that building is something. It's not the biggest Porsche building by any means. It's actually quite small, but the length and the size of they have 4 floors. They have 4 floors. When you first walk into the showroom, it's actually not that big. It's quite small. But there's a second floor, which they actually store all their pre-owned cars, and they actually have their Porsche configurator room where you actually get to pick the very small details on configuring your Porsches. There's a meeting room, another bathroom. So it's a very unique dealership, architectural wise, and I think that's the one thing that I was just fell in love with, because as a person who's into architecture and buildings, you actually look for that, and it makes quite a big difference between a dealership like that, which is laid out so well, even though it's not the biggest. It's laid out so well, like you could tell all the details, and there's an elevator and then the stairs go up this way. It's very well put compared to another dealership that's just You know, you could tell that they just used an old Audi dealership, but they just switched the logo. 4 floors, showroom, and then another floor, the second floor is the pre-owned and the configuration room. Third floor is like where they service and clean the cars. They clean the cars, actually the service is in the first floor. On the back side of the showroom is really cool. The doors, the doors where you actually the cars go through, they go up like 2 seconds fast, and I watched it happen. It was very, very cool. And then the fourth is where they have all the cars up. This is where they keep like sort of the lower tier, also pre-owned cars. And this has this wonderful view of the highway on the front side of the dealership, and then the back side is you get that Carlsbad beach view, and it's especially during the sunset hour, the golden hour, you could say, it's something. One small thing can actually be very large in the difference between one dealership and another dealership. And although Porsche Carlsbad has many things that are different than other Porsche dealerships, this one thing especially stands out because they leave their cars open. Any car, not just the regular base Panameras, Macans, Cayennes. They leave their high tier GT2 RSs and GT3 RSs open for the public. Usually you would have to ask a salesman to go to the back where they keep their keys. They bring out their keys and then they open it. But this one, you don't need to do that. You just open it. Of course, you have to respect the cars. That's what you should do, that no matter what. You know, you have to be careful. And you can open the car and go in and then feel what's like inside a GT2 RS and a GT3 RS without really having to ask, without having a salesman sort of breathe behind your shoulder, like you know what salesmen do. So that's the one thing that I think about it. I'm like, wow, like this never happens. Like, what other Porsche dealership leaves all their cars open? Something to think about. But I actually think that's sort of connected to the people who work there. I mean, they are a little bit more the older age range. It's in Carlsbad, and a lot of the older people tend to reside there. Some kind of like a retirement place. It's a nice weather area with a beach right next door. So they're a little more older, but they're definitely nice people and very, very chill, very mellow, like Carlsbad it is. And they are not rude at all. Like, you know, some salesmen are very rude, and if you don't like plan to buy a car, if you don't look like you're planning a car, they'll just completely ignore you or completely be rude in any sort of way. But these people are just genuinely nice people, and you can have a conversation with them, and it's a good experience, really. The people there are absolutely different than the other dealerships I've been to, especially dealerships like Ferrari. Yeah, the people here, you walk in, if you choose to go, walk in, and then you'll notice it right away. As I'm getting things wrapped up here in San Diego, I'm planning to move to Los Angeles. I'm gonna miss being 20 minutes, 15 minutes away from Porsche Carlsbad. You know, there is a couple Porsche dealerships up there, but they're not as I don't know how to put it. They just don't give off the same feeling as this dealership does. So if anyone plans to come to Southern California, or if anyone lives here and are into Porsches for any reason, I really recommend checking Porsche Carlsbad if you haven't already. Go talk to the people there, and they're all very nice people. And just if you want to look at the cars and sit inside them, be respectful, of course, and you could actually sit inside, take your pictures. They really don't mind. It's just a wonderful environment and atmosphere. So if you guys want to go to Porsche dealership and with very nice people, and you won't get like kicked off, or you don't get the feeling of you don't belong there, check out Porsche Carlsbad. Very, very friendly people and a wonderful place. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.